All right.
There's no topics.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they work in your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Hey, it's Saturday night, and we're here with Sportsminute, the newest edition. What a weekend of football so far. We got kicked off on Friday night. No Thursday night game, but it's a Friday night game this week. I am just finishing up sharing this bad boy here with some groups. My phone wasn't working at first. Gosh dang technology. Sometimes it just doesn't work, and I'm not that great with it anyway. So then I'm sitting here with this rock in my hand, basically trying to figure out how to work this stupid thing. Anyway, to my left, where I'm sitting, is none other than I'm thinking I might still be a Pistons fan, but I'm not sure. I might jump to the Rockets. Ace.
What's going on? What is going on?
And then to my right, we have the Vic, who is a Seahawks fan, but as of this year is a Chargers fan because Justin Herbert now plays there from the Oregon Ducks. The Vic.
It only makes sense, right? I'm staying in the Northwest, on the west side of the country.
Stay
right local.
There, right? Hey, at least for me, I would have a legitimate reason for like the Pistons because we've sucked for so long now that every year I'm like, yeah, we're going to be good. We've made some trades. We're going to be good. And then we lose our first two games after blowing 10-point leads 3 times in each game this year. So at this point, I'm like, yep, that's lovely. We're sucking again. All right.
And you wake
I
up
understand.
Like,
so we're going to go over some NFL stuff tonight. Before we get too far into anything, we're going to start off with some sponsorships. And tonight, Nate's going to surprise us. So I don't know which one's going to come up, but we'll talk about whichever one does because we know all of them. And we want to thank all our great sponsors. We hope they all had a great holiday. We hope you all had a great holiday season, no matter what you celebrate, whether it's we're not going to go through the whole list because there's a lot. But Nate, go on and pull up that first ad for us. And let's see what you got for us tonight. All right, yep. Suzanne's Paparazzi. Suzanne's Bling Paparazzi Accessories, $5 jewelry.
Bling.
Hey, Vic, why don't you take this one over? Tell us about the rest of it.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about this. I've ordered from there twice now, and fast shipping, great stuff. My cousins got their Christmas presents that I sent them, and they love the earrings. Love them. Love, love, love. It's paparazziaccessories.com. You put in code 160920. That's your consultant code. 24/7 shopping. Everything's $5, and it's great stuff. It's lead and nickel free. It's sturdy. I bought stuff for myself, for my family, and you know what? It's the best. It's local, and it's gets there in 5 days. FedEx shipping right to your doorstep. So Valentine's Day is coming up. You done missed Christmas, people, but you got New Year's presents or Valentine's Day. Girls love jewelry, and it's not expensive, and it's great stuff. So sign up.
Hey, and it's 2020. Guys like jewelry too.
Yeah.
So before you jump on to the next thing quick, I want to say a quick shout out to Madison. I see that she's saying that she hopes all of us had a Merry Christmas. And I'll tell you what, it was a fantastic Christmas. I really hope you had a great one too. And then right below her, I'm sorry if I butcher this name, but I think it's Om. Is it Om? I think so. Also saying hi. So hello, how's it going tonight?
Hello.
Hope you're ready for the show.
Ready.
All right, Nate, what's our next ad?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Ooh. Misty Meadows. Ooh, this is my favorite one, by the way, I have to say. So, Ace, why don't you take this one?
Misty Meadows. So the good thing that I enjoy about Misty Meadows makes homemade jam. But remember this too. Not only do they make homemade jam, but they actually make barbecue sauce and they have spices. I mean, couldn't you do with a great barbecue sauce? I'm a barbecue sauce man. I love my barbecue sauce. How about you guys?
Oh God,
Love
yes.
it. Love it.
And like I've always said that barbecue sauce goes on just about everything, right?
Yes, sir.
So
They also have
I'll
syrup.
tell you.
for
So
your
there's a
pancakes.
few. So Misty Meadows is actually located on 48053 US 101 in Bandon, Oregon, and the area code on that's 97411. All right. Sorry, this is the zip code. I'm sorry. Okay.
Phone number 541-347-2575. And Vic, don't they have a website?
It is organjam.com. They have
All
beer jelly. Beer jelly. Come on,
Beer
people.
jelly.
Beer jelly.
Beer
All
jelly.
right, and real quick, but we'll get to the NFL right after this last one. I promise. I promise you, NFL is right around the corner. But I just got to let everyone know because Madison knows because she's on there, and so is Olm. And again, sorry, butchering the name. We're doing our best here. Madison knows how to win that T-shirt. How to win that T-shirt. And
Yeah.
now all you got to do is do what Madison did. You got to comment. You got to like. You got to share. You got to get up in here. You got to get us your
Get up in
thoughts.
Get all up in
And
it.
Christopher Brown, that's what actually we're going to lead with tonight is that finish in that game. Yes, we are getting there in 1 quick second, sir. Stay tuned. And real quick, if you cannot comment, say you're listening to us on Anchor, you still want a T-shirt. Vic, how do you get that T-shirt if you can't win it?
All you got to do, message any of us on Facebook, our All Sports Network, All Sports, All Plays Network Facebook page, any of our individual messages, and we will get you on $14.99. Don't pay attention to the $25. That's not right anymore. It's $14.99 plus shipping and handling. We'll ship it out to you, and you can wear it as swag, and it's beautiful.
All right. Now,
Swag.
speaking of that
Swag.
finish, we're going to
Tell
lead
me
off
about
with
the
that game.
finish.
We probably should lead in order, and we'll get to the Friday night game in just a second. But now we're going to go a little bit in reverse here. We're going to talk about that last game that just finished.
Yes.
How about that finish? I admitted this to you two before the show started. I saw Fitzpatrick throw that ball up, and I wanted to put my face in my hands and be like, you did it again. You're going to throw an interception. You're going to lose the game for the Dolphins. And then all of a sudden the Dolphin guy is wide open down the sidelines. And I'm like, then I watched the replay. I'm like, how did he throw that? His head was being ripped backwards. So, Ace, give us your thought on that last play, that game, just that great game that we just saw.
So I mentioned a little bit about it before we actually went on. And I'll tell you what, it's kind of funny though, because had Fitzpatrick not had his face mask grabbed, guess what? Hollins on the Dolphins was actually wide open. So I'm telling you, that might have been a touchdown. He might have been taking that to the house because the Raiders guy was probably about 10 yards off of him, and the ball came so slow that Hollins had to slow down, just dropped in the breadbasket. Like, it shows you how wide open he was. Hollins was wide open. Say it again. Fitzmagic does it again. But here's the thing that I don't quite understand, right? So Tua, he starts this game. As we saw, Tua was struggling throughout the game. So towards the end of the game, Brian Flores is like, well, I believe that Fitzpatrick gives us the best chance at winning this game. So then he brings in Fitzpatrick. And once he brings in Fitzpatrick, of course, Fitzpatrick brings him back again and wins the game. And then it comes up now that Brian Flores next week is starting Tua again. So in my mind, I'm sitting here and I cannot figure out if Brian Flores is sitting there saying that Ryan Fitzpatrick gives him the best chance to win and he believes in Fitzpatrick, why in the world is he going back to Tua again? I don't understand it.
I don't know. I don't know what go through these coaches' minds half the time either, but we're not in that position. That's why we're here talking about it instead of on the field coaching. But it's easy for us to make those assumptions. But Vic, do you agree that maybe Fitzpatrick gives them the best chance to win? I mean, from what we've seen, and I'll ask you a second question. So does Fitzpatrick give them the best chance to win for the Dolphins? And for the Raiders, do you ever consider running a cover 2 at the end of a game ever again?
No. Well, right.
You had your turn. Back off.
Go ahead.
This is me now. So, what was the question again? Oh, never mind. Yes, Fitzpatrick gives them the best chance to win. The dude should have never been benched to start with. I believe that Miami management sees what the quarterbacks drafted are doing. They saw what Justin was doing. They saw what Joe Burrow was doing. And they thought, we spent a number 5 pick on this guy, and these other guys are playing right now, and they're doing great. Let's get our guy in there. It's just pressure for management to prove that they didn't waste their pick. But I feel that Fitzpatrick gives him the best shot to win. He's proven it over and over this year. I mean, he came in tonight and unbelievably brought him back again. So the fact that they're saying, we're going to start 2 again next week, it doesn't make sense. But I mean, that's why we're here, and we're not the coach of the Miami Dolphins. But it's Tua needs to sit and, he's like I heard Kurt Warner talking about it, where you got to realize what is NFL open for a receiver, as opposed to what Tua realizes was Alabama open as a receiver. You can't. It's separation. And Kurt talked about how he had to learn that going from St. Louis to Arizona, going from Torrey Holt and them guys to Larry Fitzgerald, where it's not separation. It's you just got to put it in the right place for your guy to make a play. And Tua has to learn that what's NFL open now, as opposed to 5 feet Alabama open. He's not going to get that in the NFL. He needs to learn more. So I think Fitzpatrick gives him the best shot to win. And no, I would never run a cover 2 ever again. If I was Oakland, I would just throw that. If I was Las Vegas, I would throw that play out and just be done. Also, kneeling at the 2-yard line for a field goal, stupidest move ever.
Yeah, I don't understand. Okay, I get that you're going to win the game, and it's all about winning the game and clock management and all that. But, kneeling at the 2-yard line, when honestly, if Justin Jacobs in the backfield, you have Carr who just jumped over for the last touchdown. What are you thinking? Like what?
Unless you have less than 30 seconds left.
It's the second year in a row. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Vic. But it's the second year in a row, by the way, that we've seen the Raiders start either 5-1 or 5-2, and now they're not even going to have a winning record this year because they just lost their 8th game, and it'll be the second straight year that's happened. So, Ace, tell me, do you really think that Gruden is the coach for Las Vegas? We're seeing these 2 collapses 2 years in a row.
I've been saying this for a while now, actually. I said that when they came back and signed Gruden again, because you got to remember, he had his first stint there with the Raiders. And he didn't bring him a Super Bowl. So then you bring him back again. Like you're thinking, and not only do you sign him to a contract, but you sign him to a huge contract. You sign him to a 10-year contract. That is, so now after your 5th year or whatever, if you're not succeeding, maybe after your 5th year, at what point do you be like, you know what, we signed him for 10, but it's not working. So after 5 years, it might be like, okay, and I know it hasn't been 5 years now. I think it's been about 3, but the one thing that Las Vegas is lacking right now is obviously a defense. We know that they have to get a defense. Is Gruden that type of coach? I think he can be a successful coach if Las Vegas gets defense, because I have always liked Gruden as a coach, but particularly for a 10-year contract, no. It's going to take him time to build this team up.
Okay. So we got some stuff going on in the comments over here. Christopher Brown says, make them go get a touchdown. Vic and I hit on that. I couldn't agree more. You have to make them go score a touchdown. You cannot give them an opportunity to win with a field goal. A 44-yard field goal at that is what you set them up for. Most NFL kickers are going to make that at least 70% of the time. So the percentages are against you, and you cannot let that happen. And then you had Nate asked if the Raiders should go get Nate. No, that's irrelevant. Let's not even go there. Justin Esparza, thanks for watching, by the way, buddy. He says new coach and new quarterback would be the answer. I don't agree with the new quarterback part. I think that Carr or Mariota could get it done with the right coach. That's my personal opinion. I agree with Will Polston. Carr is much better than what you're going to get at the position, and they need defense and offensive line. Absolutely, because the first thing that Gruden came in and did is made a horrible trade to the Chicago Bears to get rid of defense. And man, that has not worked out for them yet.
So, J-Mac, if I can touch on that final drive that the Raiders had when they decided to opt for a field goal instead of scoring a touchdown, I think that the issue right now is that right now, pretty much all sports are about analytics now. It's not about what you should do. It's based off of analytics and numbers. So when you look at it analytically at that point, Gruden's thinking, well, okay, if we leave them 20 seconds with no timeouts or a little bit less than 20 seconds, you're thinking, what is the odds of them being able to get that many yards with no timeouts and about 20 seconds left on the clock? And I know that's what coaches think a lot. So they're like, you know what? If we kick the field goal, you got it. But me personally, I know what you're saying. And as a head coach, I would be scoring that touchdown because I'm like, you score a touchdown, there's no way they have that much time to get down the field and score a touchdown. It's going to take a bunch of laterals. It's going to take a miracle for the Dolphins to go down and score a touchdown at that point with no timeouts left. But the problem was they didn't do it. They decided to kick a field goal. You leave Hollins open, and not only that, then Arden Key makes the biggest boneheaded play in the game and grabs Fitzpatrick's face mask and basically rips his head off. So at that point, that cost the Raiders the game at that point.
Okay, and I do understand what you're saying about the analytics. Vic, I'm going to get to you in 1 second, I promise. But I do understand what you're saying. But I'm sorry, if you want to run time off the clock, kneeling it down didn't do any more for you than a running play would have. Why not run a running play on third down? And if you get stopped, you still have the chance to run the clock all the way down, call the timeout, and kick the field goal on fourth down. Because then at least you're trying on third down to score a touchdown. And I think that's what Justin Esparza is trying to get to. I think Justin was trying to get to on that is, or Christopher Brown or whoever brought that up, but you have to score that touchdown. And third down, when you kneeled it, instead of trying to run it in, you should have at least tried to get a touchdown in that play because you still have another play to kick the field goal. Vic, am I off on that, or is that exactly what you're thinking?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. My mind goes to how healthy was Carr's groin? Did they feel that maybe kneeling down was the safest option? Who knows? I mean, he looked okay, but I don't get it. I really don't get it. I mean, not that I'm unhappy that they did it. It's like, I don't like the Raiders unless Marcus is playing. We know that.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't understand at all the thought behind having him kneel on third down. I mean, that makes no sense. Yeah. Unless you don't trust your ball handlers to hold on to the ball. You think they're going to fumble it or something. But even then, you're giving the ball at the 2-yard line if it's a fumble. So it just doesn't make any sense. So Las Vegas, they deserve that loss big time.
All right. Let's switch gears for a minute. We talked a lot about that game, and it deserved to be talked a lot about. So I'm not taking anything away from that game because it really did. We'll get back to the last two Saturday games here in a minute. But I want to talk about that Friday game. I want to talk about the game from last night. Now, the Saints won this one 52-33. Now, if you would have told me that the Saints were going to go in and put up 52 on the Vikings, I would have told you, I would bet you any amount of money that was not going to happen. And if you would have told me that their one running back was going to score 6 touchdowns in 3 hours, when that's more rushing touchdowns than some other guys have all season.
Ezekiel Elliott.
That's insane, by the way. Crazy. 6 touchdowns from Alvin Kamara. Did you see that happening, Vic? I'm going to lead off with you on this one. I feel like you deserve some time. So 52-33. First off, 2 questions. 1, did you see the Saints coming in and scoring 52 points on the Vikings? And 2, can you believe Alvin Kamara ran for 6 touchdowns in one game?
Yeah, I did not see the 52. I saw the Saints winning, but I did not see the 52. That's just phenomenal. And every week I wish for 6 rushing touchdowns from one of my running backs in fantasy football because he got me 56 fantasy points with just one player. But yeah, I'm shocked that they didn't go for 7 because they had the shot for him for 7 to have the record. But Kamara is a beast, and he finally he broke out Friday night, and it was a beautiful thing to watch. Drew Brees doesn't look like he's full on healthy, ready to go. I mean, he held back on some throws, looked like he was protecting himself after he threw it a little bit. But I mean, that's Drew Brees. He's a gamer. He's going to go out and make a statement. And I think the Saints made that statement yesterday that they can go out and score 52 on a pretty good defense. It's normally been a good defense all year. I mean, what?
This defense for Minnesota has not been good.
They haven't given up 52 points.
But they have not been good. They have not been
Ace.
good at all. Huh.
Ace, go ahead. Give us what you think.
That's your opinion.
Hey, I'm not. I'm just saying this Minnesota defense has not been very good this year. I do agree with Christopher Brown's comment on the side to where he says once the Saints are in the playoffs that Drew Brees will be carried by the Saints team. Because when you look at Drew Brees, he does not have that same, I would say, he can't throw deep like he used to. He doesn't have that same arm strength anymore. So, but when you look at the Saints team, the biggest thing about the Saints team is their defense. Their defense is really, really good. They were able to hold Dalvin Cook under 100 yards rushing. And that's what this team is built upon. This team is built off of stopping the run. If you can stop the run, especially against a Minnesota team, you have them, because then you're putting the game in Kirk Cousins' hands, and Kirk Cousins will not beat you. It's going to be on Dalvin Cook. So now, when you look at the Saints side, now what happened in this game was Alvin Kamara got going, and he took it over. Now, he had 6 touchdowns. Definitely could have been 7. Could have been 7.
No doubt.
But so with that being said, like Chris Brown was saying, I do truly believe that this Saints team will have to carry Drew Brees through. Without that arm strength, Alvin Kamara is there. Lean on Alvin Kamara. He's your workhorse. He's the guy who's going to take you to where you need to go, because that guy's an absolute beast of a man. He's a beast of a man.
Beast of a man.
He's not as good as Derrick Henry.
Oh,
But he's a beast of a man.
Why you got to bring that name into my view?
Because it's Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry's a beast. All right, J-Mac.
I agree with all those points. I think that no one saw any of that stuff coming, and 52 points is just insane to put up in Week 16, no doubt. Okay, Nate, thanks for that. So let's move on. Let's move on to that first Saturday game today. The Bucks and the Lions. And why we're talking about this game is only because we have to, because we are contractually obligated. Let's put it that way. Because we are unbiased here at the ASAP Network. So the Bucks won 47-7.
We are?
Yeah, we're unbiased.
I'm sorry.
Well,
Sportsminute is unbiased.
Unless you're Vic.
But 47-7, Brady played good. But let's face it, this Lions team is a mess. Just a mess. Was Pat Patricia really the problem? Like, that's my question now. Was he really the problem in Detroit? Now, they didn't have a head coach. Their wide receivers coach was their head coach because of COVID. And some other players didn't play. They didn't have a defensive line. They didn't have a pass rush. Anyway, Vic, any take on this game? Anything you want to say?
Gronk got me 19 points on my fantasy team.
Well, there you go.
So
Tom Brady played against like my high school's JV team. It looked like so.
Right.
I mean, of course, he's going to throw 4 touchdowns in the first half.
And I agree with you, Will Polson. It didn't help that Stafford was out for 90% of the game. That is definitely for
Detroit had no offensive line, no defensive, they didn't have anything. So, I mean,
no secondary.
Big talk. Brady did this, Brady did that, but look who he was playing. I mean, you should have done this against them. This is like what should have happened.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it's
all right. Yeah. Ace, anything you want to say on this game before we move on to the next one?
No, she kind of took that one away by saying, Brady did what he was supposed to do playing against a team like this. But now looking at the other side of the offense for the Detroit Lions also is now you're talking about how they were down to their third coach because they were. Today, their head coach was Robert Prince, which was their third head coach this season because their second head coach was out because of COVID. Now, Matthew Stafford left in the first quarter. He left hurt with an ankle injury, the third week in a row that Chase Daniel had to enter the game because of an injury from Matthew Stafford. Now, Chase Daniel comes in, does nothing. So then what do they do? They then go to their third string quarterback in David Blau. So in the second half, they had their third string quarterback. And then for everybody that's like, oh, look at Brady today with his 4 touchdown passes. Let me tell you this. In the second half, Brady didn't play at all in the second half. You know who played? Blaine Gabbert. In his first 2 drives, Blaine Gabbert threw 2 touchdowns his first 2 drives against the Lions. Blaine Gabbert, who's not even a decent quarterback. So Blaine Gabbert was able to move the ball against this Detroit defense. So if that shows you anything, that shows you how much of a mess this Detroit team was today. So really, there's really not much to talk about on this one, except the only positive side on this one is that Agnew for the Lions returned a punt. That was pretty much about the only thing. The only positive out of it was just the punt.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll move on to the middle game. The middle game, which we talked about this before we came on the air. What was the NFL thinking by not putting this game on TV? Can you answer that question for me, Vic? Like, what? That would be like us going live on a show and being like, we're not going to put this one on Facebook, though.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I know they have the partnership with Amazon Prime. I mean, they had Thursday Night Football. You could watch it on TV, or they had it on Amazon Prime for maybe people that didn't have cable or were at work could watch it on their phone. But yeah, I don't know why they didn't have it on TV. I mean, other than the game wasn't really that good, we didn't really miss much.
Yeah. I see that the final was 20-12. The 49ers actually beat the Cardinals. And Vic, I'll let you talk on this one for a minute. You had mentioned that you thought Kyler Murray kind of laid an egg today. You want to speak on that for just a couple of minutes there?
Yeah, Kyler Murray laid a big egg today. I mean, you're playing a depleted San Francisco 49er team. And by depleted, I mean everybody is hurt or isn't playing. And you have the weapons you have DeAndre Hopkins, you have Larry Fitzgerald, you have Kirk, you have Drake, and all you muster until the fourth quarter is 2 field goals. In the fourth quarter, you get a touchdown. I mean, you had all these weapons, and you just tooted. You threw an interception in the red zone. I've been saying this from the start. I think Kyler Murray is way overrated. I don't see the hype around him other than he's fast. Well, yeah, people are fast, but you're not a running back, you're not a receiver, you're a quarterback. You have to step up and use your weapons and you play with your teammates, and it was just not pretty. And I mean, CJ Beathard played better than Kyler Murray did. He had 3 touchdowns. 3. And unfortunately, in my sheer stupidity, I kept Jeff Wilson Jr. on the bench in my fantasy team. And he had 183 yards and some touchdowns.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, San Francisco deserved this win. They played way better than the Cardinals did. And hands down to CJ Beathard, this game was he looked really good against an Arizona defense that wasn't stellar today.
Now, Ace, We'll go
Yes.
to you, but I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How good do you think Josh Rosen feels at this point? He came and signed with the 49ers and then watched them beat the quarterback that he was ultimately traded away for them to get.
Yeah, to me personally, I think he thought it was sweet justice, especially at that point. He laughed because, in all honesty, Josh Rosen did not get a fair chance. He did not get a fair chance in Arizona at all. He was working with crap his first year there. And the head coach they had at that point was not good. So he literally had crap. So that's why I'm looking at Josh Rosen going, he thought that this was definitely sweet justice. Now, to get to the game for a second here, I want to know right now, especially when you're talking about all the weapons that the Arizona Cardinals have, how in the world does San Francisco allow the Dallas Cowboys last week to put over 40 points on them with Andy Dalton at quarterback, and then you come and play an Arizona team that Arizona is loaded with weapons too, with Kyler Murray at quarterback, and they score 12. 12.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it. But I've said this all year long with Arizona. Arizona is one of those Jekyll and Hyde teams. You can't trust them. But that's why Arizona is also a scary team, because at any point they can get hot and they can reel off 3 wins in a row, but then they can also be really bad and lose 5 or 6 in a row. So it just depends on what Arizona team you're going to get. But this game, to me, was very, very disappointing if you're an Arizona Cardinals, because this shows you have stuff to work out. And you also have to look at your head coach, too, and be like, is this head coach the answer? I know it's his first year, but you have weapons. You have weapons. Yes, thank you, Will. The Cardinals are frauds. They are frauds. I will completely agree with you on that. They are. All right.
I'm not with you on the next one, though. I'm not with you on the next comment.
Oh, God. Let it go.
All right. So let's go into the Sunday games. Let's go into tomorrow morning. Let's see. The first game in the morning is the Browns and the Jets. Now, everyone's going to laugh and say, oh, the Browns are going to win this game. The Browns are going into this game with 1 wide receiver not on the COVID list.
Yeah.
1.
Actually 3, because they have 3 of them that are there now. But none of the big-time names.
No, none of the big-time. Yeah, that was kind of where I was going with that. None anyone would know. None anyone would know. So you're going to have 3 wide receivers. I see them going to a lot of running, a lot of play action stuff out of the backfield, going to your tight ends and such. Can the Jets pull this game out with the Browns being so depleted? Ace?
Can the Jets? I want to say yes, but I'm going to say no. And here's why I'm going to say no. Because all they need is Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. That's all they need, and that's what they have. And the Jets are not going to stop Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. It does not matter that Mayfield does not have any receivers. He's not going to pass the ball. He can hand it off 30 times to Nick Chubb and 30 times to Kareem Hunt. That's all you got to do. And the Browns are going to be just fine, because this Jets team, if they've been horrible this whole year on defense, minus that one game against the Rams, that was about it. This Jets team can't stop the run. There's no way you're going to stop Chubb, and there's no way you're going to stop Hunt. It's just not. It's not going to happen.
Well, I will tell you this. Cleveland was favored by 9 points. And the newest Vegas line that just came out has them only favored by 5.5 after all the wide receivers are dropping like flies to the COVID list. So,
like flies.
Yeah. And, yeah, but you're right. I mean, they have a great running game. And so running the clock keeps the other team off the field. And no one's really hurt in their defense, and they have a pretty solid defense. So let's see what happens. Vic, what's your take? What do you think? You think the Jets are going to pull this one out, or you think Cleveland keeps going?
I wonder what the mindset of the Jets are right now with their situation. If they win this game, they're out of the first. They're not going to get the first pick. But do they really? Is that really their mindset? Do we tank, or do we try to win and maybe lose the first pick? I think Baker Mayfield's going to come out and have a big day, just as far as handing the ball off to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. So if you got those two on your fantasy teams, start them. Because I had to bench Jarvis Landry. I'm not happy about that. But there's got 3 wide receivers. But he's a scrambler. I mean, he can make someone bad look pretty good or someone decent look pretty good. But I'm still taking the Browns to win it because I just don't think the Jets have it in them to put up much of a fight at this point of the year. I think last week was just a random fluke that they won by accident. If that's something that happens, but I see the Browns still winning this pretty.
So I'll say this: if Cleveland wins, they're in the playoffs for the first time since 2002.
They're already in the playoffs, but
think about it though. 2002.
Yeah.
Like Vic, I don't know where you were in 2002, but that means I was still in high school the last time the Browns were in the playoffs.
But put this into perspective, like you're saying with the playoff side. So if the Browns win tomorrow and the Steelers lose, guess what? Then it comes up to that Week 17 matchup because then both teams would be at 4 losses. And I'll tell you what, it's going to go to Week 17 regardless unless the Browns lose tomorrow and the Steelers win, then that division race is over. But I don't think the Browns are going to do it. I don't think the Browns are going to lose. So it's going to come down to Week 17. I'll tell you what, that's going to be a great Week 17 game. And I think the Browns can actually come out and win that game and win the division.
All right. There you hear it first. A hot take.
Hot take.
From Ace. The second game, the Giants and the Ravens. Now, let's quickly talk about this game. So when we get Freddie Henderson on here and doing the rant that we don't want him coming on here and doing that. Basically, the Giants have to win tomorrow. If they don't win, they're out of the division race and it's over for them. I believe Washington wins tomorrow. The Giants lose. Washington are division champs no matter what happens Week 17. So, Giants or Ravens, Vic? Who you got?
I got Ravens. I mean, Giants were out of this before the season even started. That's how I feel about them. Yeah. Freddie, go eat a hot dog. Giants are going to lose.
All right. Ace, Giants or Ravens?
Ravens. The Ravens are starting to get healthy. Will they? But at this point, I don't even know if they'll make the playoffs because if the Dolphins win next week, Dolphins are in.
All right. And then we got the laugher game in the morning that no one really cares who wins or loses because neither team has anything to do with the playoffs or the first-round pick for that matter, and that's the Bengals and the Texans. So, Ace, lead us off. Take your pick in this game. Tell us who's going to win.
I got the Texans winning, even though the Bengals actually shocked me last week and was able to beat the Steelers. So that was kind of a shocker. But I'm going to go ahead and say that the Texans are going to win this game. I got Texans winning.
Vic, take your pick, but also tell me if the Texans are able to put a couple wins together here at the end of the season, do you think that they name Romeo Crennel the head coach going into next season?
I see the Texans winning. I mean, and I think that Houston should be looking at Eric Bieniemy as their next head coach. He's an offensive guy, and they got a great offensive side of the ball. So I think he would do amazing things with Deshaun and Will Fuller and those guys that he has built down there. They got to hope that they can get some free agents to come in to help Eric along his way. I mean, he's all right, but I mean, yeah, I don't see him being their full-time coach. They can still do it, but if I can't get Eric, then I would see them going with Romeo, definitely. But yeah, Texans are going to win tomorrow. last week was a division game. Cincinnati was all hyped up on Mountain Dew, and they had to get the win. Got to get Juju. Got to get Juju. And yeah, it was. Yeah,
They had to smack somebody in the mouth.
I had to smack him in the mouth. That's not my logo.
All right. The next game that's coming up, and I know where Ace is going to go with this one. You got the Bears and the Jaguars.
Ooh.
Now, the Bears have to win out to make the playoffs. If they don't win out, they don't make the playoffs. There is no scenario in which they make it. So, Vic.
Yeah.
Is there any way that the Jaguars pull off this win against the Bears and knock them out of the playoff race?
Will, I apologize in advance. But if Mitchell Trubisky starts tomorrow, he is a choker when it comes to pressure games. He's going to throw 5 interceptions tomorrow. Jacksonville's going to win it, and Chicago's going to be out.
You're telling me that Jacksonville's going to shock the world tomorrow?
Shock the world. Shock the world. Nobody thought the Washington football team would beat Pittsburgh.
It's true.
Nobody thought Cincinnati would beat Pittsburgh last week. And the Bears, huh? Mitchell Trubisky cannot handle big pressure. He chokes up.
All right. Ace.
I'm in awe about what the Vic just said. So, but because we all realize that Mike Glennon is starting at quarterback for the Jaguars tomorrow, right? So, Mike freaking Glennon. So, and here's the funny thing too, is that everybody's like, oh, the Jaguars, they're going to come out and tank and blah, blah. But here's the thing. These guys are professional athletes. There's no way that a team is going to come out and tank. And here's why, because these players are fighting for positions on the team. So if they come out and purposely tank, that could reflect on them to where they might lose a roster spot because of how bad they're doing. So when people come out and be like, oh, this team's tanking, they're not going to tank because these players need a roster spot just to make money like everybody else. There's no way a coach is going to come out and be like, yep, we're going to lose this game so we can get that first pick because I'm sorry, you at quarterback, you suck, so we're going to tank so we can get a different quarterback. They're not going to do that. The Jaguars are going to come out and try. The Jaguars are not going to win, but they're going to come out and try. So I've got Chicago. So for anybody who's saying Jacksonville's not going to come out and try and tank, it's not going to happen. They're not going to tank. That's not what they're going to do.
They're going to win.
All right. Next game is the Falcons and the Chiefs. Now, I got the Chiefs in this one. I'll start that off and say that. The Falcons are playing for nothing. The Chiefs really aren't playing for much. They still have they locked up the number 1 seed yet? I don't know that they have quite yet because their 14th win tomorrow. Their 14th win tomorrow guarantees the number 1 seed.
Yeah,
and so I don't think that there's going to be any problems for the Chiefs tomorrow. So I could be a speed bump in the road or anything. They're going to lock up the number 1 seed tomorrow. You got anything different than that, Ace, or you see the Chiefs taking care of business tomorrow?
The Chiefs are going to take care of business. When you look at last week, what did the Falcons do that they do best? Have a 17-point lead, and they come out in the second half and blow it. They did what they do best, and that's just blow leads. And in this one, they're not going to have a lead. The Chiefs are going to come out and lead from the very beginning and win. So, Falcons, sorry. You're not winning, Falcons. Chiefs.
All right, Vic.
Nathaniel makes my head hurt. Please tell me that's sarcasm when he says Mitchell could be the next Patrick Mahomes. Please tell me that's sarcasm. Because that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, just move on. Don't think about it too much, Vic.
Kansas City is gonna, like I said before, they're on just a whole nother level right now. It's like you watch them and it's like they scored just whatever they feel they need to score. Like, oh, we need a touchdown. Okay, we're going to get one now. It's just mind-boggling how good Mahomes is. Chiefs are going to, Atlanta might not even have a lead to lose. They're just going to get dominated.
I think the thing that I saw last year from the Chiefs, or last week, excuse me, not last year, last week, is I didn't realize they had like 7 running backs. Like one guy goes down, another guy just steps in, and then you're like, oh, I remember him. I remember his name. And then that guy goes down, and you're like, oh, now they have LaShawn McCoy. Great. Like, cool. I mean, then guy goes down. it's just amazing to me. Like, they just got these guys sitting on the bench like, oh, I'm ready. And then you pop them in the game at running back. That's I don't know. It's just crazy to me. So, yeah, I think they're going to take care of business tomorrow. Then we have the last morning game slated, or early game.
Early.
Colts and the Steelers.
Ooh.
So, Vic, we'll start with you on this one. Give me what you think. Now, keep in mind that the Colts are still playing to try to win that division in the AFC South. And so it's a huge game for them. The Steelers are trying to hold on to the AFC North. This is going to be a big game tomorrow.
Yeah, and just watching the Steelers the past 3 weeks, they're on a down slope that I don't see an end to. Their offense looks horrible. Big Ben looks disastrous. Indy's playing for a spot, and you got Phillip Rivers, you got Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, Pittman and Hilton. Colts are going to take this game. It might be a close game for a little bit, but I think the Colts are going to run it out at the end of the game. They're going to take it. It's not even going to be close probably at the end, because Pittsburgh something's wrong with them. I don't know. Something's happened. They lost confidence in themselves. So they don't have a running game. So if Indianapolis can knock Juju on his bum like Cincinnati did, it's going to be a no-brainer. Indianapolis by quite a few.
Yeah, I'll say Indy's going to take it too. Ace, are you any different on that game or?
Nope, I've got Indy. Pittsburgh is on that downhill slide. I said when they were 11-0 going in to play against Washington, I'm like, oh, Washington's going to win this game. And then I said, and then Pittsburgh's going to start a downhill slide. And then they started doing that, going on that downhill slide. And that was because I just felt like even though the Steelers team kept winning, they were relying on their defense a little bit too much. They were having a difficult time putting up points, and they're still having a difficult time doing that. And when you end up playing against a team that has a good defense, that's going to pose a problem. And that is the biggest issue right now. Big Ben is not the same Big Ben that he used to be. He's close to being done. He is close to being done at this point. It is going there. And
right.
So Indy's going to win this game.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Move on to the late games. Broncos and Chargers are the first late game. Neither team really playing for anything other than pride and wins and
draft pick.
Draft pick consideration, but also, do you think it might be a little bit of a one-on-one matchup, like Justin Herbert trying to prove that he is better than Drew Lock, and Drew Lock vice versa on that?
Justin doesn't have to prove that; it's already been proven. I think they are going to get a little revenge back from the game earlier this year that the defense blew. Because I think they're in San Diego, right? Or LA?
It's Los Angeles, actually.
Yeah, they're in LA. Yeah.
So you got Los Angeles then, Vic?
Oh yeah, I got the Chargers all the way every time. Justin's gonna once again lock up Rookie of the Week and make it solid Rookie of the Year campaign bid.
Is there anyone else? Like, tell me. So, Ace, give me your pick and tell me, is there anyone else in the AFC that can win Rookie of the Year other than Justin Herbert for the Chargers?
In the AFC?
Yeah.
Not in the AFC, no. But in all of the NFL, potentially Justin Jefferson?
Potentially. I'll give you that one. But I think he's going to win the NFC side and Justin's going to win the AFC side. But still, I mean, there is nobody other than Herbert in the AFC that's going to win that. Just my opinion. I don't think anyone's played better than Justin Herbert has.
Mm-mm.
By the way, I believe he needs 2 touchdown passes to set the NFL rookie record for touchdown passes in your rookie year. He has 27 right now. I believe Andrew Luck had 28.
I believe so, yeah.
So you got the Chargers as well in that game?
Yeah.
Ace? Yeah.
Yeah, the Chargers. Yeah, because I couldn't believe you asked the question of, is Herbert trying to prove that he's better than Drew Lock? I thought that was already a thing. And so J-Mac, I didn't want to say anything, but when you said that Justin Jefferson might win it on the NFC side, and you do realize that there's only one award, right?
Yeah, but they break it down. So basically, they pick your two finalists, and then you pick your winner, and that's all I was trying to say. So it's going to come down to those two guys. Was kind of my point. I don't know if I was clear on that, but yes. There's one rookie year at the end of the year, but you pick your last two guys. I think those two guys are going to be the finalists. By the way.
Yeah, another thing for the Chargers is Bosa is out, as well as Hunter Henry is on the COVID list. So.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter, though. I don't think
it's not going to matter. I don't think it's going to matter.
Well, Allen might not play either.
Yeah, I think Bosa should be shut down for the year, based because he's had what, 2 concussions in the past 8 weeks. I mean,
something like that,
the coaching staff needs to think of his health. I mean, they're not doing any playoffs. They're not doing a playoff run, so shut him down, let him get recover from that.
Right. Anthony Lynn just needs to be fired. They need a new coach.
Yeah, he's just being selfish if he short-minded coach that's going to get fired at the end of the year.
My answer to Nathaniel McWhirt's last comment of I don't think Fant is playing either. Who is that? I don't care. So
Noah Fant.
Noah Fant.
Titan.
I know who it is. I just don't care.
Gotcha. It's like Fanta Cola, kind of.
Yeah.
Where's my Fanta? Where's my Fanta?
So you have the next late game is the Panthers and the Washington football team. Now, quick little question for both of you, and I'll let you both speak on it. If I would have told one of you that a team with no name would win a division in an NFL season, what would your reaction have been to that question? We'll start with you, Vic.
I would have laughed you right off the stream. Yeah. It's just crazy, absolutely crazy. I would have just been speechless.
All they have to do to guarantee winning the division is win tomorrow and the Giants lose. That's it. And then week 17 doesn't matter. That's kind of crazy to think about, honestly, because that means if they win tomorrow, that's their 7th win. They will be 7-8 going into week 17, and they will have locked up a division win and a playoff spot, which means they can finish 7-9 and still win the division.
Crazy. That's absolutely
crazy.
Ridiculous.
It's just insane.
There's going to be a team over 500 that's not going to make it because of them.
Right. So, Ace, do you think that they pull it off tomorrow against the Panthers?
Yeah, I think
the division.
They're going to pretty much have to. This is the one game that I say that they're going to have to win because next week they're going to be going up against the Philadelphia Eagles, and we know right now that Jalen Hurts is playing really, really well, so he's got that team playing well. So this is the week that Washington football team's going to have to win, and I think they can. Christian McCaffrey isn't playing again. This Washington football team's defense is actually ranked 4th in all of NFL. That's something that people forget to really look at on the Washington side of thing. Their defense is really, really good. So I don't think that Carolina is going to be able to score a lot against them. So I have Washington winning this game.
All right. I have them winning as well. I said they were going to win out, and they didn't. They lost last week, but I still think they're going to win this division. I think they're going to pull it off tomorrow. Then you have the Rams and the Seahawks. Vic's so-called favorite team. I'm not sure now if it's the Seahawks or the Chargers, but anyway, man, who do you pick in this game? Now, Will Polston was on the show. I got to say, he's not here tonight, but we know he would not pick the Rams just because of Jared Goff. And do you blame him? No. Goff really is not – he's not that great.
He's not.
He doesn't make that team. He doesn't make that team go. What makes the team go is their defense and Aaron Donald. So Rams or Seahawks? Vic, who you got?
I think Seahawks are going to get a little revenge from earlier this year. They're gonna, and after the showing that the Rams had last week against the Jets, I mean, they may be coming back looking for a little bit of payback, to show that we're not that bad. But I think Russell's gonna step it up again. He's gonna carry that team on his back, get that running game going with Hyde and Chris Carson, and maybe get his receivers into the game a little bit this year. With Lockett and Metcalf, they've been kind of quiet the past few weeks. So I think Russ is gonna cook a little magic against the Rams.
Ace?
I'm taking the Rams, and the only reason I'm taking and I know Will's going to hate this because Will's like, really, you're going to take the Rams? No, I'm taking the Rams because Sean McVay seems to usually do pretty good after losses, and he becomes pretty creative. So I think he's going to find a way to come out and beat Seattle again. The Rams actually typically play pretty well against Seattle. I like to watch these games because this is a great divisional game. And I'm not going to say they're going to win because of Jared Goff, Will Polson. I'm not saying that at all because we know that Jared Goff is not that good. And I do agree with Justin that they're both pretenders. I do agree with that. But if I had to pick somebody, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Rams.
All right.
That's horrible. Blech.
The last late game is the Eagles and the Cowboys. So you guys can pick the game if you want to. You don't have to. It doesn't really matter for anything. Eagles and Cowboys. Jalen Hurts is playing good. Let's give him props. I don't think anyone else really cares about this game. Christopher Brown does. I'm sure he's going to say the Eagles are going to win, which is probably going to happen. I think the Cowboys got lucky last week, and I don't think they're going to win another game the rest of the year. So that's my take. Vic, what's yours?
Yeah, that's Eagles.
No?
Oh, I don't know. It hurts my head sometimes just to think about it. I hate the Cowboys so much. Philadelphia's going to take it. Jalen's gonna run him over. I don't know. Is Zeke even playing? I know he was thinking about not playing because of his leg or calf or foot or toe or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Doesn't
Zeke.
really matter.
Philadelphia.
Really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Philadelphia. I feel it. I feel the magic. I feel the Jalen Hurts magic.
Philadelphia.
Okay.
Like I have to take Philly because I know that if Philly wins this game, like Dallas is done. I'm like, so please, Dallas is done if they lose this game.
I agree with Justin Esparza. I want to see Pollard do well, and Crybaby Elliott will be looking for a new team. Oh, how sweet that would be.
Yes, that would be great.
When you held out and then you got what you wanted from the owner, who's the worst owner in all of sports, by the way, in my opinion, right now, is Jerry Jones. You got what you wanted, and you have scored 5 touchdowns. When you said, I am the answer, it's not Dak Prescott, pay me, don't pay Dak, and you have 5 touchdowns this year? Yep. That's all. That's enough said there. So the late game tomorrow. Whew, I don't know if we're going to talk about this one or not. I'm just kidding. It's going to be the Titans and the Packers. And I'll say that I think it's going to be the first time in show history, by the way, that we are going to root for Green Bay in the same game. And we know Vic's going to because, well, her disdain for the Titans is probably not going to make her pick them against Green Bay. I do have concerns with this game. I do. I'm going to let Ace go first. But I do have concerns because, well, Derrick Henry, I get Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. And I understand that. I know he's probably playing the MVP level. But Derrick Henry, I'm not going to lie. The guy scares the crap out of me. Because our run defense is like a cheese grater. It's not very good. So, Ace, I mean, I'm going to take Green Bay because I can't root against them, but this game scares me for sure.
I will say this. I will say when it comes to the run defense side, over the last 5 games, we've actually done better, but
that's because we've been up.
But even though we've done better on that side, this is Derrick freaking Henry we're talking about. And Derrick Henry is The dude is a freaking beast. He's got 1,600 yards rushing already this year. I swear to God, he stiff arms somebody every game and just throws them like 5 yards every game. So at some point tomorrow, I'm like, who's getting it? Because somebody tomorrow is getting the big stiff arm and getting thrown across the field. It's coming. This is one of the games that I am very, very concerned about, because I'm looking at this game going, we got to stop Henry. And I don't know if we can stop Henry. That is the problem. And if we do stop Henry, we can win this game. But that's going to be a big if. And what is one way, though, that you can keep Derrick Henry off the field? You got to play to their game. So if Green Bay feeds the ball to Aaron Jones and keeps Derrick Henry off the field, because we know that Tennessee Titans defense is not that good. That is one flaw about Tennessee at this point, is their defense. So if you hand the ball to Aaron Jones and keep them off the field and control that clock, we'll be fine. Of course, I'm going to go with Green Bay, but this game highly concerns me.
Vic?
Highly. That does a little bit, yeah. I mean, Derrick Henry is just, good God. The man is just crazy. But like J-Mac said, there's no portion of my body or my life or my soul that will ever pick the Tennessee Titans to win a game. I don't care if they're playing my high school JV football team. I will pick my JV football team before I will pick the Titans. But this time around, it's not that bad of a pick because Packers are looking good. Aaron Rodgers is just, I mean, he's MVP-ish right now. I mean, hands down. It's him or Mahomes, and Aaron's looking a little bit better. I hate to say it because I hate Aaron Rodgers, but, that's how it goes sometimes. But I'll admit it. I mean, yeah, I'm picking Packers. I think they're going to manage to stop just enough to win it. And Nathaniel can bugger off.
So real quick before I get to the Monday night game, and we'll do our picks real quick, I got to tell you, I looked up some stats on Derrick Henry, high school, and I get his high school. So yeah. Let's say yes, it's high school. I understand, but high school, senior year, 1 year, dude ran for 3,500 yards and 26 touchdowns in his senior year of high school.
Oh my gosh!
Could you imagine watching you go to watch your kid at a high school game and he comes up to Derrick Henry and he's probably just like, nope, not worth it, and you just open the hole and let him run because does it even really matter at that point? It's crazy stats on Derrick Henry. Could go for 2,000 this year, by the way. He's less than 400 yards away, and as we've seen, it's nothing for him to put up 200 yards in a game. So he could rush for 2,000 this year. Monday night game, the Bills and the Patriots. Oh. How about those Bills, man? I'm telling you, this team, Sean McDermott has built a winner in Buffalo. And that is weird to say because I don't even know. It's Buffalo has a winning culture now, and that's weird to say, but that secondary's great. Like Micah Hyde, Poyer, White, you got a great secondary there. I don't even know what to say, but no one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. That is true. That is very true. Do you see New England even having a chance in this game, Ace?
No way. And the only reason I'm saying no way is because they have nobody on offense. That offense is atrocious. And right now, I know there's been talks of whether Cam Newton is starting or not because he may not be starting. And the only reason that they're talking about possibly not starting him is because the Patriots are out of it. They have no shot at making the playoffs. And so Bill Belichick kind of wants to see what he has and sit him, even though they're obvious that's not going to be their starter next year, obviously, and neither's Cam. I think they're going to end up either trading or drafting a quarterback. But no, New England has no shot in this game because they have nobody to throw the ball to. Their best receiver right now is Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, Vic.
The Patriots are the worst dumpster fire of the year. Other than I think they're a little worse than the Jets because nobody really expected much from the Jets ever. But the Patriots have always had this arrogance about them, and with Brady leaving, they still didn't think that it would be this bad. So yeah, I think, and like I said, I slept on the Bills. I didn't give them all the credit they deserve. Yeah, Patriots don't stand a chance. Buffalo's going to run them up and down the field, offensive side and defensive side, and just it's going to be a great game if you're a Bills fan, or if you need the Bills to win for your playoff hopes. That'll be a great game to watch.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. If you look at some stats, Cam Newton has 5 passing touchdowns this year.
Mm-hmm.
5.
Ezekiel Elliott has 5 rushing touchdowns this year.
Man, maybe they should both meet up in Dallas. It'd be great.
They should go bowling. together.
Yeah, they should go bowling together. By the way, Josh Allen has thrown for 4,000 yards this year.
Wow.
30 touchdowns, and he's only thrown 9 picks. Like 9 sounds like a lot, but that's not really a lot when he's thrown the ball over 500 times.
Yeah, that's not too
shabby. Think about that improvement from a few years ago. And so comparison, by the way, Cam Newton has thrown 10 interceptions, and he's thrown the ball 300 times. So that's just a comparison of the difference there. Man, could you imagine if Buffalo had a premier running back? If they had a running game, I think hands down they're the best team in the AFC if they have a running game. I don't think there's any question about it. Stephon Diggs has 111 catches this year. 111. And we all wondered whether it was him or Adam Thielen in Minnesota that made that team go. Well, I'm here to tell you it's Stephon Diggs. It was Stephon Diggs all the way. And him and man, why can't I come up with his name? Help me out, Ace. The other receiver.
For who?
For Buffalo.
Cole Beasley.
Yep.
Beasley.
I mean, that's one of the best tandems in football. And who would have thought that coming into the season that you would say one of the best wide receiver tandems in football is Cole Beasley and Stephon Diggs? Yeah. And I agree with you, Will. You have been saying that about Buffalo. They are legit in every single way, for sure. That's all the games this week. And it's going to be an exciting day, I think, tomorrow, for sure. I don't know where you guys are on any of that, but I think tomorrow's definitely going to be an exciting day of football. So
yes.
Any thoughts on if you today, right now, this moment, had to pick, let's say, defensive player of the year? Let's throw that one out there. Who's the defensive player of the year if you had to pick right now, Vic?
Totally unbiased. I'm going
totally unbiased. Yes,
DeForest Buckner from Indianapolis. The dude is just a beast.
TJ Watt or Aaron Donald, because TJ Watt, man, this year he's had a phenomenal year this year. I think he's got like 15 sacks. It's crazy. Yep, defensive player of the year, TJ Watt. I don't. If I had to tell you right now, that's who I would go with is TJ Watt. I don't know how you couldn't.
And I don't think either one of those picks is wrong. I don't think either one of those picks is wrong. Not at all. Talk about the Pro Bowl for just a second.
Why?
Who's the biggest snub in the Pro Bowl? Ace, if you had to pick one player that was considered the biggest snub of the Pro Bowl, and I get the Pro Bowl doesn't mean what it should and all that. I understand that. It's kind of like the All-Star game. It's not that big of a deal. But one player who was the biggest snub.
Oh, man. And I know people are going to say that I'm being biased on this, but I'm only saying this because when you look at touchdown ratios on this,
yeah, right there.
so Justin's saying Herbert, You got to look at Tanyan though, man. Tanyan has 10 touchdowns and over 500 yards as a tight end, and the person that made it over him was Ingram with the Giants that has 500 yards and 1 touchdown. So I'm just saying. So that to me is kind of a big difference there.
I understand, and I don't think that's the wrong answer. Vic, I think I know where you're going to go with this. So before you do, I just want to tell everyone one thing real quick. Justin Herbert has thrown 10 interceptions this year. Let's not forget that. However, he threw 6 of those in his first 7 starts. So think about that. That means in the last 7 games, he's thrown 3, something like that. Crazy. Go ahead. Who's your biggest Pro Bowl snub this year?
DeForest Buckner. The dude has better stats than the 2 people that were voted in before him. I mean, I think he has 7.5 sacks, 33 solo tackles. I mean, the guy is just a beast on that line, and it's a popularity contest. I get that, but there needs somebody at some point. It's got to turn into talent gets you in, not who thinks you're the prettiest player. I mean, he plays at Indianapolis, so it's not a big market, but still, it shouldn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, I mean, Justin's good, but Deshaun Watson doesn't need to go in before him. I'm just saying that too. So
that's legit. Let's look at. Let's go one more question. Let's go. If you picked today. Vic, you picked the AFC Championship game, and Ace, you're going to pick the NFC Championship.
Oh, come on, don't do this to me. No,
Vic, who's in the AFC Championship?
Oh, don't do this to me.
AFC Championship game?
Yeah.
Buffalo and Kansas City.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, Buffalo and Kansas City.
You really had to do this. You really had to do this because obviously one team I'm going with because I cannot go away from that team. But if I had to say it right now, the dream match that I would be hoping for would be Green Bay versus New Orleans Saints in the NFC Championship. That is the dream match that I would want right now.
That's who I would have picked too.
Green Bay versus New Orleans, and then on the AFC side, I'm going to also agree with Vic and pretty much everybody else. It's going to be KC and Buffalo. But before, because I know you said that was your last question. So that was your last question. No, we're not going to do overrated, underrated, or just about right tonight. There's actually something interesting that I'm throwing out there. And, Yep. And so it's another little mini game, and it's called a word association game.
Oh, I'm not good at these. Can I say cuss words?
No. So what I'm gonna do? The object is on the word association game is I'm gonna throw a team name out, and when I give you that team name, you think of the first thing that comes to mind. It can be a player or just anything in general that comes to mind about that team. That's all you have to do. It's just a word association game.
There's going to be a cuss word. I feel it.
And it does not have to be a current player. It can be players from the past or anything.
Okay.
All right. So the first team, yes, and I know Vic's ready for it. Okay. So the first team I'm going to throw out there right now, Houston Texans, J-Mac, go.
David Carr.
Vic.
JJ Watt.
I like it. David Carr, and I'm assuming you did David Carr because that was their first overall pick.
First overall pick and a dude that got sacked 249 times in 6 years.
Right. And Vic, your pick with JJ Watt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the face of the franchise right now. I mean,
so that was the first thing that came to mind.
when I think of Houston, that's who comes to mind.
All right. So
Not
this
trash.
one. So this one, I will go ahead and I will start out with the Vic on this one. Atlanta Falcons.
Chokers.
All right, J-Mac.
I held back a lot of cuss words, so we're good.
Just because I couldn't stand him so much. Actually, you say Atlanta Falcons, and the first name that comes to mind is
Don't say it. Don't
Michael
say
Vick.
it.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Michael Vick is just what comes to mind.
Oh, Michael Vick, he comes to mind on that.
Will's hatred for Goff has no bounds for my hatred for my. I won't even say his name. He doesn't deserve me to say his name.
Ah, that's great.
That's
okay.
why I had to verbally stop myself.
J-Mac, Baltimore Ravens, go.
Oh, Ray Lewis. That'll always be Ray Lewis for me. Always.
All right, the Vic.
Barf.
Barf, what?
Just barf. They make me want to barf.
Oh, wow.
As a franchise, they make me want to barf.
All right. You guys are going to love this one because it's the NFC side. So I did 3 and 3,
no.
3 NFC, 3 AFC. So Vic, this one, Minnesota Vikings, and go.
Purple people eaters.
All right. J-Mac.
Choke.
So she had choke with the Falcons. You chose choke with the Vikings.
That's why they're purple.
Yep. Barn.
Right. All right. I like
Turtle.
it. Huh?
Turtle.
So now our last AFC team, and I just have to throw this one in there. I have to. Denver Broncos, J-Mac.
John Elway. A great player, but a terrible GM.
All right, the Vic.
Terrell Owens.
Wait.
I know that's not the right name.
Terrell Davis?
That's what I meant.
Yeah, I was going to say Terrell Owens. What?
That's what I meant. As soon as I said, I'm like, that's not the right name.
Yeah, I was
No,
going to say
he was a running back. Terrell Owens.
Yeah, I was going to say that definitely was not the right name there.
He won those Super Bowls, not Elway. They leaned on him.
Yep.
Definitely. Okay. All right. So Vic, you start out with this one. It's our last team of the night. So Vic, Arizona.
1 yard short.
1 yard short. Okay, J-Mac.
Larry Fitzgerald.
So,
I mean, Larry Legend. I don't know how else to go with that one.
So I think it's kind of funny here that when we mention the Broncos, we have a few different things here to where Nate says quarterbacks, and then and then Will says Tim Tebow. So like
It's Tebow time.
So that one was kind of funny. Okay, so that was our debut of word association. What did you guys think of that minigame? You like that minigame?
It. Yep. We'll circle back to that one eventually.
Everybody understood mine, right?
Yep.
1 yard short. Everybody got that?
We got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Just want to make sure I was understood.
Nope.
All right.
So we said Arizona, and Nate again says quarterbacks as well. What
quarterbacks is there to remember in Arizona except Kurt Warner?
And Carson Palmer, that's about it.
I mean, Carson Palmer, but
yeah.
Carson Palmer shouldn't even be remembered. He was a Trojan. We don't like them.
Right. Well, that's all I got. So.
All right. Well, I mean, I think that's all we got for the show tonight.
Can I say one thing really quick?
Yes, I was going to give it to you in just a second, Vic.
Oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead.
I just want to thank all our sponsors. While we're talking about it, remember you can listen to this on Anchor if you can't watch us tonight. Anchor is our last sponsor. They do some good stuff. They'll get you started on your podcast. If you need to start a podcast, they will. They got everything you need there, all the tools. Anchor is great. Now,
Anchor is great.
And then, of course, win those T-shirts. We talk about the T-shirts a lot. Win one, comment. We had a lot of people do that tonight. Get your name in there. But you can also buy one. Am I wrong, Vic?
You are not wrong. $14.99 plus shipping and handling message anyone on the network on our Facebook page. We also have Twitter. Just let us know. We'll order it, ship it out to you, and you'll be able to wear your swag all year round.
All right. Well, that will almost end the show. I'm going to give you each 1 minute. Vic wanted one more thing to say, so I'm going to give you a minute to say it, Vic. And that minute is going to start. Oh, let's see. 3, 2, 1, go.
This is kind of a solemn one. I'm not going to go too outrageous. Not a lot of people follow the Pac-12 football, but today we learned about from the Utah Utes. Ty Jordan passed away today. I watched him play. I hated him because he was an awesome running back. So all of our hearts and feelings are going out to his family right now. Dude was only 19, and he was an up-and-coming star. So all right, rest in power, number 22. Pac-12 family sticks together no matter the hatred. A loss of a young guy stud like that, it's tough.
I mean, 19 years old. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Thanks
rough.
for that, Vic.
You bet.
Ace, go ahead.
So, minute. All right. So today there was some up and down games of football, as we saw, some boring ones. And then the last one was actually rather good. I think tomorrow is going to be a great day of football in general. I can't wait until the Sunday night game, even though it worries me. I still can't wait for it. And don't forget, tomorrow morning, everybody, we have our Sunday morning pregame show. And then in the afternoon before the Sunday night game, we actually have our pregame show for the Sunday night game. And then tomorrow night, we actually have another edition of Between the Ropes, which we are supposed to have a special guest tomorrow. So I got to check to see if he will be on there. So I hope everybody's ready for that. And I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And I hope everybody enjoyed it. And thank you very much for watching.
Happy holidays.
All right. And before Nate takes us out of here, I got one thing left to say. What I'm going to say is I could not do this show without the two of you. And you two, we make this show great. And I love every minute of this show. Nate, bring yourself on here for a second because we're going to give you, by the way, we did awards and Nate got the Production of the Year award. Nate, we could not run this network without you, buddy. You do all the behind the scenes stuff and you are way more important than people put it out there for you. You're really important to this network. So thank you for everything you do. And the last thing I will say is that we have 5 days left of 2020. 5. Count them down. 5.
Oh my
Let's
God.
get this year out of here. Let's start off 2021 right by watching ASAP Network. Great things to come in 2021. We'll see y'all later. We had some fun. We got it done. Nate, take us out of here.
Hold on. You forgot Will.
Before I
Yes,
do that?
Will.
Oh.
Will, yes, you are great to have on the show, too. We got to give a shout-out to Will.
Absolutely. All right, my bad.
Oh,
Will?
he's got a little sad face.
Yeah, Will.
All right.
You're great to have on the show.
Before
All right.
I do that, can I address my comment
Oh,
about the
which one?
quarterback?
Which
The
one?
quarterbacks. I wasn't going about the whole. I was going about the history about how the quarterbacks for the Arizona Cardinals and Denver Broncos have been historically bad.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for
That
that,
route.
Nate. Thanks for that. That clears it up. But
Yeah.
Nate, take us on out of here. Y'all have a good night. Let's get 2021 going.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so type the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.